writers. In this video, I'm going to talk about River's Edge. This is another manga by Kyoko Okazaki, who is the author of Helter Skelter and Pink, and I really enjoyed both of those. I like that they're like one and done manga, and the same with River's Edge. They're emotional stories that you get really into the characters, and then they're usually over. And there's usually a big plot. I don't know. I love these manga. I don't know what happened with the artist. She was in an accident. I think it was a motorcycle accident, and was in recovery, because I know they were going to continue. Was it Helter Skelter? One of the main series they were going to actually work on like a sequel to, but then after the accident there was going to be a hiatus, and I don't know whatever happened after that. I don't think I've seen anything more negative, but I don't know. Either way, I've enjoyed all of these works. So when I saw that there was another one that was released, which is River's Edge, I decided to pick it up. So for River's Edge, it's at the edge of the city, not far from the sea. A field of goldenrod sways in the breeze, its veil of amber flowers obscuring secrets underneath. Old bones and forgotten memories rest in silence, waiting for someone to dig them up. This is where the lives of 6 young men and women intertwine in ways both tragic and extraordinary. Decaying secrets are revealed as they forge friendships from pain, find betrayal in pleasure, and stare into the face of death itself, in a field of gold by a stagnant river under the smoke-filled skies. This one is very heavy. We follow a bunch of high schoolers. The main female lead, she has a boyfriend that is kind of a dirtbag. Like, you don't really like him. He's very jealous of her and anybody that she hangs out with, but it turns out that he is cheating on her. So, whatever. And she ends up befriending the main boy lead, and I'm terrible with names. I cannot remember all their names. But she befriends this boy who's been being bullied and beaten, and they don't like that he has a pretty face, and a lot of the girls want to talk to him. But he has his own secret. He's actually gay and is hiding it, which, one, for the time period, he would have to do, but also just socially, it was rough, so he couldn't be out, and he's being bullied, and it's awful. She does end up befriending him, and I like their friendship. There are other friends around them, if we can call them friends. There's an interesting group surrounding them that also come into play with this, but one of the main parts of the book, this is very disturbing, is near the river, and near the river someone had died and their corpse is there in the grass, and it's their special secret. So it's the main male character, I think the girl, and I think there was another, yes, there was another friend who was a girl, and they're like the main 3 in a closer friend group. So they're like the ones that I would consider like the friends. And then the other 3 people they're mentioning are kind of like auxiliary people that kind of cause harm to the main 3, but in a way that like humans interacting would, because you have like the boyfriend. There's a girl who I think is the girlfriend, if I'm remembering correctly, of the boy. So, or she wants to be his girlfriend. Were they actually dating? I don't remember. But anyway, there's a girl that's tied to him, and then the friend of our main female lead. And I don't want to spoil everything with her story, but she's doing some shady stuff. And on top of that, there is yet another character that's just kind of off to the side, which is the sister of one of the girl that I don't want to bring up too much for spoilers. And so it really just becomes like a huge relationship drama where there's obviously the secret that the 3 friends have, and they don't want to this one's really weird. In a normal situation, I feel like if you found a body down by the river, you would probably call the police. But they're all so mentally impacted by different things that they don't. This is kind of like their secret that also gives them this weird sense of joy, like this weird thrill to know that it's there and have it. And I think it's also their way of like judging their life and their humanity. Like if this body is here and yet we're still alive, like we're more than just this body. I don't know. It's very, very strange. And of course, all of the relationships just keep twisting and turning in on each other until there's this big event at the end. And it's so messy. But I think that's what this author does the best, is just these messed up, twisted relationships with characters that there's often ones that you will side with more. Like you can't help but like them. But a lot of also characters that are just so twisted and messed up. And you're like, I don't know how to feel about this. And this is the same. It's remarkable what is accomplished in this single, like, this is one little volume. And so much is done in it that it's mind-blowing. Like, I don't know. I read it. I didn't know what to expect. I knew going in, because Kyoko Okazaki has written some wild books, I knew it would probably be a wild ride, but I didn't know quite what to expect. And the minute it gets to like, I'm going to show you my secret, and it's a dead body, I knew it was like, all right, we're done. This is wild. Like, you knew like this was going to go places that are very strange, and it did. But you know, overall, it's also just the story of these very young people who are dealing with a lot of messed up things, and how are they going to overcome these messed up things in order to continue on with their lives. And yeah, I guess that's the best way to say it, because there's a lot here, but I highly recommend it. I also think it's interesting that she doesn't really have a beautiful art style. It's not that her characters or art is ugly, but it's not like that, you know, overwhelmingly flowery art that I don't mind. I like very pretty art. But this is not. It's kind of like gritty, raw art, and I think it so fits the story and the characters, and I enjoy it for that. Like I'm someone who very much can get into the artwork if it fits the vibe of the story, and I think this is one of those that it does. Like, no, they're not these beautiful, flowery shoujo settings. It's raw and gritty and dirty, and that is the setting and the characters and the emotion, and it's good. It's just plain good. I love the way that it's done. I admire it a lot. I don't know if there will ever be more. I would definitely read more, but I don't know. It makes me kind of sad to think that maybe that would be all of the work that would get written. I actually tried to look at the back of this to see if there was more, but I think it's essentially the same write-up that was in the other volumes. I don't think I have read Tokyo Girls Bravo, so I don't know if that one will be released, but I know for sure Pink and Helter Skelter I haven't have read. But yeah, the rest was all about how she was undergoing rehabilitation. I don't know what happened after that, because I feel like this was a while ago, because it was 1996 that there was the accident. So no, I feel like there was no other updates after that in 1996. She did publish, I think it said 20 volumes of work, and of which we have 3 here. I don't think that any of the other series has been released. I should double check that. But yeah, I guess after the accident, maybe she was never up to, which I think is kind of sad, but also that's fine. Like, people are allowed to not be able to do the work they once did, and we can just value what was made and be grateful for that. And I am, because I do think some of these works are pretty amazing, and I would highly recommend them. And that's going to wrap it up, because I don't know what else to say. Like, you have to read this one to really see, like, how everything interplays and just be like the shock value. It's amazing. That is it for this video. Until next time. Bye.